Hey guys, and welcome to Petrol Ped, and welcome back to my dream garage build, episode 3. Now, it's only a couple of days since my last video, but so much has happened inside the barn. It's so exciting, and you can actually start to see things taking shape and things being taken out. Now it is a proper hive of activity behind me, but I want to walk you in and show you what's happened since the last video. In the last video, we pretty much had just started doing all of the damp proofing on the back wall, but not much has happened inside. We'd laid out the course of bricks, you could see where the rooms were going to be, but now we've got stud work up and even block work going in, and supporting roof pillars being taken out. So let's just wander around here and I'll show you what we've got going on. So, first things first, we're going to walk in here. This is the kitchenette, and we've actually got walls and the first set of rafters for the internal mezzanine, which is just so exciting. So we can actually kind of walk around in here and feel what the building's going to be like in terms of size, which is really, really exciting. And then that hole in the rafters there is where the stairs are going to go. So the stairs are going to basically go, they're going to go up that way, and then up that way into the upstairs, which is really, really cool. And then we're getting block work being put in there, but scary things. This is the base of what was one of the supporting pillars. We've got a couple of acros now holding the roof up because we're basically preparing for the steel work that's going to come in, the main supporting work that's going to support the roof and all the build there. There's one of the roof supports that we've taken out just there, and then I've literally just seen this one coming out here. So again, we've got a couple of supports up there. So yeah, it's all getting a bit full on. There we've got block work going in there. We've basically got all of the blackjack on the walls. We've got all the damp proof course on the back. And then if I wander over here, I'm going to move out of the way because these guys are making another one of the damp proofing supports to go on there. And then in here, this is the storeroom. So again, you can start to see the layout. That's just so cool, so cool. But we do have some interesting things going on with the roof. And these guys are basically mathematical geniuses working it out. So let me tell you about the roof, because that's quite interesting. Now, I think I said in an earlier video, originally we thought we'd keep the existing roof. And then we realised we couldn't because we needed access to get the steel work in and also for things like insulation. But it transpires now that we wouldn't have been able to keep the roof anyway. I made a comment about there not being a straight line or a level or a 90-degree angle in the whole building. Well, the roof's even worse because the roof's pretty much on a slight tilt to the main building. So getting levels and working out exactly where things are going to go is really, really complicated and very, very difficult. The guys have been working that out, and I guess this is the challenge when you convert or restore an old building. You have to work around what you're getting, and our concept of building if you like, a building in a building is going to help us really, because internally it's going to be lovely and square and perfect. But the roof, well, the roof is definitely going to have to be rebuilt from scratch. That's what this is going to be just here. But yeah, it's just so exciting seeing everything going up and the structure internally. We can now see how big the kitchen's going to be. You can see how big the tool store's going to be. And then as soon as these walls are up with the damp-proof membrane, the guys can put the other stud wall in for my bike store, which is really, really exciting. So yeah, lots and lots happening. I've been away for like 4 days and so much has happened, and I've had a bit of a mishap, unfortunately. You may well notice the roof's gone. So the guys came in on Saturday and took all of the battening and the felting off the roof, and unfortunately my lovely time-lapse camera, well, it's only scheduled to record Monday to Friday, 8 till 4. And that meant I was actually at the N24 and suddenly thought, oh no, my time lapse, and it's too late. So the time lapse is going to kind of, 1 minute the roof and felting and battening is going to be there, and the next minute it's not. So that's just one of those things. But in the 4 days I've been away, 3 working days, so much has happened. Let me show you what's been happening. It is quite spectacular. I'm going to start off in the kitchen, because we now have a blockwork wall up and also the floor joists. So we've actually got a suspended floor in the kitchen. All of the damp proofing on that wall's done. The first floor rafters are on here. I think we've seen that already, where the stairs are going to go. So that is super exciting. And then this blockwork wall here. Now the really exciting thing is the steelwork gets delivered tomorrow. So stay tuned in this episode, because we will see it being delivered. But you might well be able to see just there some engineering bricks, and then on top of that a stone. And then you've got 2 columns of engineering bricks there, because there's going to be some steelwork sat on top of those. So the steelwork is going to go from there all across the way there, and then sit on top of those wooden, those 4 timbers together. That will be one of the front bits of steelwork, and then there'll be another one going from there all the way across the back and sitting on top of that cap just there. And then there'll be an H-beam going across the middle, across there, and that's what the floorboards will sit on, or the floor rafters will sit on for the mezzanine above the garage, which is really, really exciting. And then this, on top of there, there'll be what they're calling a goalpost, but it will basically form the door frame for the door that goes from the gym into the office. And then above that goalpost will be a steel that goes up to the top of the roof, and then there'll be a beam that goes all the way across the middle of the roof. So lots and lots of things happening. My storeroom in here is looking pretty good, which is really exciting. So yeah. Tomorrow, big day tomorrow, steelwork arrives tomorrow. So I think we'll start to see that going up really, really quickly. And then once the steelwork and the first floor can go in, then we can put the big steel rafter in at the top, and then all of this roof comes off and gets replaced. So that starts to, it's a big job. So the quick things have gone up quite quickly. This wall behind me has gone up super quick. But once the floor's in and then we get the roof off, then it really starts to look like a finished project. But yeah, very, very exciting. So tomorrow, join me because the steelwork will arrive, and then hopefully by the end of this week, we'll have most of the steelwork up, and you'll be able to start to get a picture of what the mezzanine's going to look like. I tell you what, round here, you have to have your wits about you. I've literally been out yesterday and this morning, and so much has happened. But the most exciting thing has happened. We have steels in. So yesterday the guys actually took the front of the barn off just there, and the last remaining post that went down onto that, which was my telegraph pole, so that's going. But they've been busy today. They've got these steels in today. I'm gutted I wasn't around here to watch it and film it, but these are the main steels, the main structure that will support the upstairs floor, the mezzanine floor. They are big old steels. That weighs about 480 kilos. It was a huge job to get them in. Then you got this cross member here, and then another same 480, big structural piece of steel there. But what's really interesting, just to kind of look at how out the roof is, I don't know if you can see the two. So the bottom line along there, that is the steel. The top line, that is the front of the old barn, the roof line of the old barn, and you can see just how out it is to true. So it's probably a foot or maybe 1.5 foot higher than it is over that side. So the next job, which is super exciting, is the floor joists will go in. So they're going to basically, there's some little holes in this steel work here. So they're going to put some wood and some attachments on there, and then the floor joists will run. You can maybe see some of the floor joists there run to this center steel, and then another one from there to there. So once we've got Once we've got the flooring in and the floorboards down, then we can start taking this main roof off at the top, and then there's some more steel work to go, a new ridge pole that's going to support the top of the roof, and the goalposts I mentioned already over there. So it's a really exciting. Now the steels are in. That was one of the big challenges the guys were worried about. The steels are in, and that means now we can start putting the floor in. That should happen quite quickly, I think. So let's catch you up at the end of today and see where the boys have got to. But steelworks are in, and it sits perfectly true. They're literally, they were worried. These steels came in yesterday. They were 7 millimeters different than what they thought they were going to be, and they've adjusted. We're working to millimeters, not feet and inches. Now then, we've got some more sight dogs. This is Shah, who's absolutely lovely. Hello, mate. Hello. Do you want to? Yeah, going to lick the camera. And this is Blue. Hello, Blue. So yeah, Darcy and Hallie love the sight dogs. We've got lots of dogs on site. Now it's just a day and a half later. This build is going so quickly at the moment. We've had so much progress. So look, the floor is now in pretty much. So literally the last time we looked at it, the steels had just gone in, and I said the floor was going to go in. Well, now all of the floor joists are in. So you get a real sense of the space down here. They're just putting the noggins in just to connect all of the floor joists. So they're all done on this side. They just now need to be put in on this side, and then the job tomorrow is to actually put the floorboards on. So that, you really get a sense of the space, and I don't know whether it comes across on camera now, but it also helps that the bike store started to be built. So if I'm stood in the corner, that's basically one parking space there, and then one parking space just here. It's a huge space. And then in here is going to be the bike store, which is starting to come along really nicely. A few comments about why I've bothered with the bike store. The main reason, it's dead simple, is to keep this space nice and clean and tidy. It's a big area, that, but I'm probably going to have some bikes hanging up on the far end wall by their front or rear wheels. I've got my 2 e-bikes in there. So, but the rest of this area here, I just want to keep as clean as possible. But with the roof up now, it's just really, really exciting. And then let me just take you around here, and we start to see what's going on in here. So floor joists are in. Now, a few people have asked about damp. I don't know whether you can see underneath all of these floor joists, there is a damp-proof course. In fact, you can see the damp-proof course along here, which will go along that top row of bricks. We're having the insulation put in underneath the suspended floor in the kitchen. And then you can also see they've started to finish off the floor for what will be my office. The really cool thing at the moment is, if you think the door is going to be here coming in, and then look up, there's actually going to be almost like a little balcony here. My new office desk will be there. So from downstairs, you'll be able to look upstairs into my office. And if we come along over here, as you come into the door, you should be able to, as the stairs go up here, you should be able to see into the top part up there. So that's really, really exciting. Now, the last thing, yesterday, I actually got the drone up just to fly over the building, because I wanted to try and show you the next big job, once the floor's in, is we're going to start to remove the roof. And I'll overlay the drone footage as I'm talking. You can see the twist in the roof. So that's a really big job. But we've started to also put the piers in that will hold the main support columns for the front of the roof. So that's a big job that's coming next. But yeah, it's just such a fast-moving pace. And I know, talking to the guys doing the job, everything's going up quite quickly at the moment. It will slow down as soon as we start getting, the more detail, having the stairs built, having the plastering done, and all of the final fix things. That will take time. We know that. But yeah, for the moment, everything's absolutely flying up. So what I'll probably do is I'll just finish off this video tomorrow, once at the end of tomorrow's day's hard work. And I'm hoping we'll have the roof or the floor in. I might even be able to do tomorrow's video from up there. You never know. But anyway, so cool. Look how big that space is. Really, really cool. Well, it's now the end of the second proper week of building, and I thought I'd finish this video with a bit of an update as to where we've got on today. It's been a really busy day on site today. We had people on site looking at doors for the main entrance into the kitchen, but the main bits of building that have gone up now and been finished is my bike store is now complete. The wall is all the way up to the ceiling. And that's a really exciting space for me, so I'm already starting to look at bike rack solutions for that. And then I guess the main things here, all the noggins are in for the roof joists, which is really cool. And the guys are starting to work out exactly what they're going to be doing with the roof. So next week, in the next episode, we'll start to see floorboards going on and the roof going off, or coming off and then being replaced, and that is super, super exciting. And then the last thing that we've started to have go down in here is the insulation on the suspended floor. I think that was in yesterday anyway, most of that. But yeah, really, really exciting. So that's the end of episode 3 of my dream garage build. Such a huge amount of progress in this last 2 weeks. We've gone from taking the roof off to, well, seeing what it is now. The last thing I want to leave you with, I showed you the drone footage of just how askew the roof was. Well, I was up here today with the guys looking at the building, and there's one thing I wanted to show you, just to show, you know, this building in a building concept, why we're doing it. Okay, so last thing, you'll see the top of this red steel here. That's the square line for the building, and here you can see the gap between that and the outside wall. But if we look all the way over here, oh no, let me just zoom in. Start to learn how to use the camera. You can kind of see the gap that end compared with the gap this end. Really, really tiny. So make sure you tune into the next episode of my dream garage build, because the roof is coming off, and that's the really exciting bit. But I hope you're enjoying these. Anyway, any comments below, any questions you've got about the build and the work we're doing. So pleased with the progress so far, but if you're enjoying the series, please give me a thumbs up. Comments below are always welcome, and if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to Petrol Ped for plenty more content to come, and I'll see you on the next video and the next episode of my dream garage build. I'm actually going away next week, so I'll start filming on Monday and try and get some of the progress, and then there'll be a gap of about 5 days when I'm away, so that'll be quite exciting because we'll see the difference when I come back. But I think now, once we start getting I really want to take you upstairs and show you the space upstairs. Anyway, I'll see you on the next film, guys. You take care. Drive safe.